Hi everybody, quick reminder, don't forget to check out the on-screen end cards towards the end of the video, as well as the merch shelf and links down in the description below to explore my new Outcast comic book series. And I just have to say that I genuinely appreciate all of the support that's been shown for this new adventure. Now let's dive in to the 8th Day Juggernaut. Now, this version of the Juggernaut represents one of the most terrifyingly powerful peaks of Cain Marko's long history in Marvel Comics. While the Juggernaut is traditionally known as one of the most powerful beings in Marvel as the avatar of Cyttorak, one particular storyline revealed that Cyttorak was merely one of 8 great entities known as the Octessence, who had entered into a wager millennia ago to determine who was the most powerful. To fully understand this iteration of the Juggernaut, one must look toward the 1999 crossover event titled The 8th Day. Now, for decades, Cain Marko functioned with only a fraction of Cyttorak's power. However, during the wager of the Octessence, the other 7 entities, known as Balthakk, Farallah, Ikonn, Krakkan, Raggadorr, Valtorr, and Watoomb, began to empower their own human, quote-unquote, exemplars on Earth. Due to Marko being much earlier to the party, this activation would lead to a full-dose surge of mystical energy into the Juggernaut. And unlike his standard form, if you can call it standard, where he's a bruiser with immense durability and strength, the 8th Day Juggernaut was a literal force of nature, transcending his usual limits, because Cyttorak required his avatar to be the last one standing in this divine wager. The sheer scale of the 8th Day Juggernaut's power was most famously demonstrated in his encounter with the so-called God of Thunder. In Thor, Volume 2, Issue number 17, Cain Marko didn't just fight Thor, he utterly dominated him. We saw that Thor's most powerful strikes with Mjolnir, attacks that typically stagger cosmic entities, were just brushed off as mere annoyances. Marko claimed that he was being pulled toward his destiny, and that the entire planet was now effectively his sidewalk. During this time period, Juggernaut's physical stats reached a tier often compared to Worldbreaker Hulk or the Tryon version of Juggernaut. His momentum became truly absolute. While the unstoppable moniker is sometimes seen as hyperbole, in this form, even the combined might of Thor, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Professor X struggled to even slow his pace. His mystical armor and power were reinforced by the proximity of the other Exemplars, with his strength being shown as such that he could casually shatter the mystical constructs of other entities, and resist some of the most powerful telepaths. The climax of the 8th Day arc saw the Juggernaut pulled to the North Pole, where the Exemplars intended to construct a quote-unquote God machine to enslave humanity. It's here that in a rare moment of heroic resistance, Cain Marko's human will actually fought back against Cyttorak's corrupting influence. This version of the character was unique because he wasn't just physically amped, he was also mentally resistant to the besieging of a deity. So when the Juggernaut finally turned against the other Exemplars, he proved that he was the alpha of the Octessence. He not only resisted the psychic commands of Cyttorak himself, a feat of mental fortitude rarely seen from Marko or anyone else, he also single-handedly destroyed the mystical engine that would have sealed Earth's fate. Ultimately, the 8th Day Juggernaut will be remembered as the version of Cain Marko that proved he could stand toe-to-toe with Skyfather-level threats, albeit briefly before Cyttorak's direct channel was once again throttled. Now, for his powers and abilities and his influence on the Marvel Universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give the 8th Day version of Juggernaut a rating of 9, which is an epic rating. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like, hype, and subscribe to The New Sage.